The conquest of Islam, the growth of the Khilafah was due to emancipating peoples of other nations, because Islam was never spread by the sword. And the living proof of this was that the majority of Egypt stayed Christian for hundreds of years after the conquest of Sayyiduna Amr radiallahu ta'ala anhu. After Sayyiduna Amr radiallahu anhu conquered Egypt in the Khilafah of Sayyiduna Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu, for hundreds of years the majority population of Egypt remained Christian, even though the legislation of Islam prohibited certain acts, like when the river Nile would dissipate every year, the water levels would diminish. They would sacrifice a young virgin, and then the water would increase. And now this is of course an empirical observing, al-hukm al-adi, an empirical observation. They were mistaken in making this conclusion that the river is only rising because they slaughter a young girl. This was a mistaken conclusion, but they continued this practice. So that year, when Sayyiduna Amr radiallahu an prohibited them from slaughtering any innocent girl, sacrificing any innocent girl, the water levels remained diminished. So Sayyiduna Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu was informed of this, and Sayyiduna Umar radiallahu anhu wrote a letter. In that letter he wrote, from the servant of Allah, Umar ibn al-Khattab, note, servant of Allah, realizing his servitude to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. From the servant of Allah to the river Nile, if you flow with your own will, then continue dissipating. However the words are in the Arabic. But if you flow with the will and might of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then flow and continue flowing with the will and might of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He ordered Sayyiduna Amr radiallahu anh, meaning this letter was dispatched from Al-Madinatul Munawwara to Egypt, and he ordered them place this letter inside of the river. They placed the letter into the river, and the water levels started to increase and the river started to flow. Never again has the river Nile, the levels disappeared, meaning as low as they were in that time. But how did Sayyiduna Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu achieve this great feat? By realizing his ubudiyyah, servitude to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.